Jesus entered into that boat and he began to preach. Now, when Jesus finished preaching, you know how it is that in the ministry of Jesus, anytime he sets out in any city to do a work, multitudes usually gather. It's more or less like a crusade in our time. So I perceive that Jesus probably must have preached for, let's say, 4, 5, 6, or 7 hours. We don't know, the scriptures did not tell us. But when Jesus finished preaching, he realized by the spirit of discernment that Peter and his partners were struggling in their career. Are you there this afternoon?
Yes, sir.
He realized that Peter and his partners were struggling in their careers, and Jesus gave Peter a word and said, thrust out, or rather launch out into the deep and let down your nets. For what? For what? For a catch of fishes. The King James Version said for a draught. And Peter said to him, Master, we have toiled all night and we didn't catch anything. Now this is the day, and you are telling us to launch out into the deep for a catch. Where will the fishes come from? You know that facts have it that in the Sea of Galilee, they don't fish during the day at the shallow end or at the deep end of the water. Rather, when they fish is at night, when probably the fishes cannot discern or see their nets. And they don't fish at the deep end of the water. Rather, they fish where? At the shallow end. So now this is daytime, and you are telling me to launch into the deep. Something that is contrary to professional ethics in fishing. Are you there this morning? I'm going somewhere, just stay with me. What Jesus was telling Peter was contrary to professional ethics in fishing. See, the facts have it that in the Sea of Galilee, they don't fish during the day at the deep waters. Rather, they fish at night. At where? The shallow end. But now, you have done everything that there is to do professionally, yet the fishes refuse to come. Hello? Now, you are now telling me to launch into the deep and fish during the day. Where will the fishes come from? But the word Jesus said was, launch into the deep and fish. And Peter said, okay, let's give this a try. Since we have done everything and it didn't work, he said, at thy word, I'm going to do what? Let down the net. When Peter let down the net, what happened? What happened? Come alive, talk to me. What happened? He got fishes. Now, where did the fishes come from? It was the same Peter that toiled all night. It was the same boat that he was fishing from. It was the same net. It was the same river on the same spot. Yet this guy toiled all night and he did not catch a fish. And a man comes around and begins to tell you something that is contrary to professional ethics. And he does it and the fishes come. I posed a question this afternoon. Where did the fishes come from? Can anybody try? Where did the fishes come from? Sir?
At the word of God, the fish.
The word of God did what? Holy Spirit. In the book of Genesis, chapter 1, the Bible said that in the beginning, God did what? Created the heavens and what? And the earth. In other words, you have two planes of existence, and one is what? And the other is what? Earth. Now, when a man is doing everything that he needs to do within the earthly realm and it's not working, the next alternative the person has is to engage what? The other realm. The other realm. If a man that is a professional has tried everything that he knows how best to do and it doesn't work, the next thing the person needs to do is to try what? To try the other realm that God created when he made the heavens and the earth. And that realm is what? Which realm? The heaven. And the heaven, as you and I know, is the earth is the visible plane. What the eyes can do what? But the heaven is the invisible. What the eyes cannot do what? Cannot see. So in other words, the fishes did not respond to Peter because he was a professional. Rather, the fishes responded to Peter because there was a prophetic word. The prophetic word was what made the difference. In the natural realm, in what eyes can see, he has done everything possible, but it did not work. But when Jesus came and gave a word, that word was what converted whatever it is they were doing. It moved it out of the natural realm and moved it into the realm of the invisible. So in other words, when Peter put in that net at the obedience to Jesus' command, the fishes responded. Why? Because there is something that is invisible. There is something that is supernatural. There is something that is prophetic that had rested upon that very river where they were. And the moment the moment the nets dropped, the fishes responded. So I asked the question, where did the fishes come from? The fishes came from the invisible dimension. The fishes came from where? From the invisible dimension. So many of us begin the year and we set resolutions. God, this is the year of breakthrough, the year of success, the year and all that. And you discover that sometimes when you go through the year, you don't experience that thing they said the year was going to deliver. Right or wrong? Come alive this morning, right or wrong?
Right, sir.
They set all manners of New Year, prophetic focus. Sometimes people get through that year, but they refuse to see that prophetic focus manifest in their lives. The next year again, they set another one and say, okay, peradventure, it is this one that will favor me. But you go through the year, you realize also that it didn't work that way. That tells you that having to experience whatever is declared over any year is not a function of what the eyes can see. Rather, it is a function of what? The eyes cannot see. People are struggling in their careers. People are struggling in businesses. Not necessarily that they don't know how to make effort or they don't know how to labor. But most of the time, it's as a result of the fact that when you labor and labor and labor, it's not working. Know that there is something that is trying to breach what you are doing within the natural realm. So the only option you have is to do what? To switch over to which realm? The spiritual. When Jesus said launch out into the deep, the word deep in the Greek transliteration is called pathos. Can we say pathos?
Pathos.
What's the meaning of pathos? Pathos simply means something profound, profundity. Something you could say has a sense of largesse, bigness to it. But figuratively, the word pathos means a mystery. Figuratively, the word pathos means a mystery. In other words, when Jesus said to Peter, launch out into the deep and let down your net for a draught, he was not making a statement of professional import. Rather, what Jesus was making was a statement of prophetic import. Follow me carefully. Launch out into the deep. The deep in the Greek transliteration means pathos. Pathos simply means profundity, but figuratively it means a mystery. In other words, that statement that Jesus made had nothing to do with professionalism. It had everything to do with the what? With the what? With the prophetic. Why? Because it is a mystery. So, if you fish at night in the shallow end, you are supposed to catch fishes. But now you are doing something that is contrary to professionalism. You are fishing during the day at the deep end of the water. Yet they put in the net and the fishes did what? The fishes came. Why? Because that statement was a statement of prophetic import. This goes to show that what Peter was going through and his partners in their career had nothing to do with the physical realm. It had everything to do with what? The spiritual realm. The invisible realm. Jesus descended. In your walk with God, you can only experience God and the power of God when you go deep with God. In your walk with God, you can only experience God or experience the power of God when you go deep with God. As Pastor have said, for instance, this is the year of the blessing. Does anybody want to experience the blessing this year? I tell you prophetically under God, and I do not lie, For you to walk in the blessing this year, you must have to go deep with God. Tell your neighbor, go deep with God.
Go deep with God.
Now, in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 9, the Bible says, for eyes have not seen, and ears heard, neither had it entered into the hearts of men the things that God had what? Prepared for them that love him. But he said, but the Spirit had revealed it unto us. Why? Because the Spirit searcheth all things. Yea, what? Yea, what? The deep things of God. I feel this. In other words, what it takes, just follow me, this will bless you. What it takes for you to see or experience things that eyes have not seen, things that ears have not heard, things that has never entered into the heart of man, is to do what? Is to connect with the deep things of God. In other words, if you don't have access to the deep, you cannot have access to things that eyes have not seen. Hello? Hello? If you don't have access to the deep, you cannot have access to things that eyes have not seen.